Hello, I am Dr. Narendra Gupta. I welcome you all to my homeopathic channel, Homeopathy Enlightened, and also to Enlightened Homeopathy, because one is a channel in which I post videos in Hindi language and another one is I post videos in English language. So you can subscribe both of them and can get the benefit by learning of real homeopathy by which you can cure your patient easily and with absolute accuracy according to the principles of homeopathy as laid down by Dr. Henneman Sahab. So I always say that a homeopath has to be spiritual to learn exact or real homeopathy. Why is it so? It is because this human body, we have a very little knowledge about this human body. Medical science has got very little, almost negligible knowledge about human body. First of all, we do not know what is our real nature. Our scriptures, religious scriptures always say that this human body is nothing but you are the spirit. But medical science does not know anything about the spirit. So the foundation itself is wrong. So once foundation is wrong, the whatever achievement they say they have made, this is the achievement, that is the achievement, itself they will not be absolutely correct. So relatively they may be correct. So with every kind of medical science, human beings cannot be cured. They can only be relieved because we do not know the exact nature of human beings. Nature means how a human body is made up of, what kind of energies which run this human body, and when a person dies, what happens to him? What is the thing which leaves the body and person dies. So I will just try to give a hint of it because most of you are interested in homeopathy only. You learn homeopathy, learn few symptoms, few rubrics, and then apply to your patient, cure them or relieve them and earn some money. Most of you are interested in that much of matter. So I always give little hint so that it can create a curiosity in your mind so that you can ultimately develop a strong desire to know the absolute truth. This is my motto of putting spirituality in between my lectures. So I have already told in many videos that our body is made up of various kind of energies. One energy is of left side. So left side energy, right side energy, left is the desire power and right is the action power and middle is the power to evolve to higher species. Higher species means a species higher than human beings. This is the higher purpose of our life, and ultimately when you evolve to that higher species, you get connected to the God Almighty. This is called yoga. So this is the ultimate purpose of our life on this earth. So let's start with a new remedy, Natrum muriaticum. Here I will describe many things, many subtle things about our inner structure. Natrum mure is produced by potentizing common salt. So what is potentizing you all know, but I repeat, potentization is a process of medicine making or developed by respected Henneman Sahab. Dr. Henneman discovered it, by which an inert crude medicinal substance is broken down to liberate extremely subtle energy present in this crude form of substance. So common salt is natriumur, sodium chloride is the formula chemical name. So every substance, not only sodium chloride, every substance in this earth, on this earth has its physical and chemical properties. Also the curative properties. Because in our spiritual scriptures it is written that each and every substance has its medicinal properties. These curative properties are present in crude gross form. So the gross properties of a substance are also due to subtle energy present in its molecules or its atoms. But these properties do not manifest themselves with quickness and in their subtleties. On potentizing the crude substance, the latent subtle energy present in that crude substance is liberated and get absorbed in the vehicle which are used to make homeopathic medicine, such as lactose, water, alcohol, etc. So this subtle energy so liberated get absorbed in the vehicle used for potentization. Now again we go further. So whatever I say is very important. It is linked with the other things which I am going to explain, and also linked to other videos which I have created. So all the videos of mine are linked to one another. Human body is made up of and is governed by many energies. According to Indian Hindu mythology, the number of these energy is 330 million. It is a very big number. Each of us has so many different kind of energies, but medical science is not aware of all these facts, so they cannot cure you. So these extremely subtle energies, each one of these subtle energy has its own unique innate character and properties. Due to these innate characteristics, the energy works in its own peculiar way. But all the energies have one common universal property, that they work collectively and in harmony with one another. So till a harmony is maintained among these energies, the person remains healthy. The coordination and harmony among all these subtle energies is governed by and maintained by a living, intelligent force. This is something absolute. This force is called the Spirit. Spirit, Spirit. This Spirit is the reflection of God Almighty present in our heart, and it is this Spirit is responsible for making our heart pulsate. So till it remains in our heart, a human being remains alive. Once the spirit leaves the heart, one dies. Spirit in religious scripture is called as Kshetragya. Kshetragya means the one who looks after a specific region. Means the spirit present in you looks after your whole body. This is the area of its witnessing. So Hanuman called the spirit as vital force. The spirit is also called as self, S-E-L-F. The one who has all the properties, characteristics of self or the spirit manifested can remain absolutely healthy. This is the only condition of attaining absolute health, that you have to become the spirit, or you have to manifest all the properties of spirit, then only you can be absolutely healthy, otherwise not. No medicine in the world can bring you to a state of absolute health. So whenever we work against the innate properties of these subtle energies, maybe due to external reasons like bad food habits, unhygienic atmosphere, bacteria, virus, fungi, etc., or deficiencies or excess of certain substance in our diet. So it may be due to internal causes such as one's own nature, attitudes, different reactions to certain situations, genome making certain acts in excess or not acting at all, means inactivity, etc. Like the harmony of these energies gets disturbed, and hence the subtle energy then cannot flow and act within the body according to their own inbuilt nature. And hence the free flow of these energy within the body gets obstructed. The organ which does not get energy in proper amount gets affected, that is, it becomes sick. If this obstruction continues, the organ develops permanent malfunctioning, means Hahnemann in his great book Organon has mentioned that whenever there is obstruction to the free flow of vital force, the person becomes sick at a very subtle level. Hahnemann has already described everything because he was a yogi, he was a spiritual being, not an ordinary one. So this is the beginning of disease at an extremely subtle level, but person cannot feel it, but one can feel after his kundalini being awakened. So at this level of sickness present, person does not feel any trouble, hence there is no development of physical or mental symptoms. When the obstruction continues or prolongs, the disease gradually advances and person start getting various symptoms. At this level, we homeopaths say that the disease has started, but in fact, the disease had begun long time ago. But these symptoms are developing due to the advancement of the disease. If the disease is not cured at this level, at this stage, meaning the obstruction to the free flow of vital force is not removed by subtle homeopathic remedies or by some other means, description of all other means is beyond the scope of this article, because I am talking about Sahaj Yoga. Sahaj Yoga is the only methods are described how to remove the obstruction at the subtle level. So the physical and mental some start getting now or start getting worse. When the disease is at an extremely subtle level, it gets manifested on or subjective symptoms. At this level, disease cannot be diagnosed even by most ultra-modern machines, because the science has not yet developed any machine that can catch these subtle obstruction in the energy flow. But a self-realized person, who is a self-realized person? A person whose subtle organ have been activated by Kundalini awakening. Kundalini awakening, what is Kundalini? It is a dormant energy that is present in our sacrum. So, but a self-realized soul or a person can feel this disease on his fingertips, and he is endowed with such powers that he can easily diagnose and cure the disease at that level within himself and also in other person's body without using any medicine. Hence, this is a new future extremely subtle medical science governed by Sahaj Yoga. So this curing takes place not with the help of any medicine but with the help of spiritual energy. That is why the stalwarts of homeopathy like Dr. J.T. Kent and Dr. Hahnemann himself have said that disease always begins at a very subtle level and then gradually progress to gross level, meaning physical or mental or emotional level. After this, the virus, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, etc. develop, so which are wrongly considered as the cause of the disease but by the so-called modern medical science. In fact, these are not the causes but the product of the disease. So there is no need to kill these bacteria with the help of antibiotic or some other means, but what is needed? The need is to cure the disease at certain level. Once the disease is cured at that vital force level, these product of the disease, so-called bacteria, virus, etc., will automatically vanish because they will not get the proper atmosphere to survive there. As the disease progresses, the disturbances at anatomical and physiological develops and the different deformities also take place. That is why when patient complains of various symptoms, which are the manifestations of the disease at subtle level, which cannot be diagnosed by the ultra-modern machines, and hence the patient is labeled as a hypochondriac person, and the symptoms he has been complaining of are the product of his own imaginations. So otherwise he is considered as a healthy person, but he is not healthy. It is the ignorance of medical science that is labeling this kind of diseases as there is no disease and hence person is healthy. So then how can they cure the person? So when the obstruction to the energy flow is not removed, the changes in physiology and anatomy also develop, which can be diagnosed by the ultra-modern machines. At that stage, medical science claims that disease has just now begun. But in fact, the beginning of the disease has taken place long time ago. So potentized homeopathic remedies or medicines, those have similar nature as the energy which has caused the obstruction to the energy flow in the healthy human body, just removes the obstruction. Once this obstruction to energy flow is removed, there is no role of any medicine, hence repetition of medicine is not required, because after removal of obstruction, the harmony among all the energies is also restored and the pathology is also removed gradually. Hence, once the action of homeopathic remedy begins, there is no need to repeat it. But it is a common practice these days to repeat medicines every hour, every 2 hours, once a day, twice a day, depending on physician. So if the medicine is repeated, sometimes it may prove to be harmful. The chemical formula of common salt is natrium urate, NaCl. This salt in the cytoplasma is present in an ionic form. Ionic means sodium ions and chloride ions. So it is essential for normal functioning of cells. The kingpin symptom of this remedy is that he himself feels extremely wretched, meaning he feels himself in a very bad condition, pitiable condition. He thinks others also considering him a wretched person, means extremely unhappy person or a person in a very great trouble. So this is his problem. Rubric given is delusion, wretched she looks, looking in a mirror when. Now let's understand this rubric. Delusion. What is a delusion? On the other hand, the person who is continuously getting obese, but he himself is not feeling it, but others are noticing and your machine is indicating it. But this person says, doctor, your machine is all right. I don't believe that I have gained so much. So even he does not believe on machine. So it is indicating that my weight has increased by 6 kg. My family members are also point out about it, but I myself do not feel so. Little bit might have increased, but not 6 kg. So it means his nerves are not sensitive to feel this change. This is peculiarity. Now Ripperty describes 4 types of delusions under one head. These are illusions. So understand the illusion. Illusion is this sensation is perceived through eyes. Examples, various rubrics are given. Sees foul, delusion vision of fire, delusion sun is reeling, delusion sees skeleton, etc. There are so many other rubrics. So this is not always true that person in reality is seeing the thing as described in these rubrics, but he may be knowingly or unknowingly talking about a subtle form or might have been giving some analogy. For example, the fire vision of, this is one rubric. Its literal meaning that person is actually seeing something burning, but it has another subtle meaning, or its analogy can be given like this. Fire is a power or energy which destroys completely by burning it, or many a times fire purifies the substance by burning the impurities present in it. For example, gold is purified by the use of fire, means the fire destroys all the impurities mixed with gold. Another example, a person is feeling the fire of reservation policy is destroying our social structure by creating conflicts among various castes of the society being destroyed. Hence, we can safely conclude that the fire is any force which destroys something completely. That can be equated to fire, not with the actual fire. So in the same way, every word has a subtle meaning. Subtle meaning means the subtle meaning of every word is easily understood by our subconscious mind. But when a patient narrates his symptoms related to his disease or his own life, then we cannot or do not understand the subtle meaning of the word unless we keep our conscious mind ready to make it understand by properly explaining its meaning beforehand. This is important. Hence, we should try to analyze and explain the subtle meaning of every word used in our repertory. However simple and frequently used word it may be or it may appear to be us. So to understand the real meaning of every rubric, we need to understand the subtle meaning only. Then we can select a simillimum. Only to know about the gross meaning of the words is not enough to prescribe, because after potentization, the powers of medicine also act at a very subtle level in the human body. So our human body remains healthy only by harmonious interacting of all the subtle energies which constitutes the body, which is why to understand subtle meaning is essential, because the remedy can cure the disease only when its subtle nature, that is energy, matches with the subtle nature which is obstructing the harmonious flow of energy within our body. So this principle is called as similia similibus curanter. Once this obstruction is removed, the rest of the healing process is spontaneous by the action of vital force, and once right homeopathic remedy starts acting, there is no need to repeat it. On the contrary, by repetition of the medicine, we can harm the patient. There is another kind of delusion, is hallucination. Hallucination is a sensation created by his sensory nerves. So this can be easily interpreted as sensation as if, but this is not exactly sensation as if. This is given under the head of delusion, so it must be different from sensation as if. So it means these nerves gives signal to the brain about the situation or some object, etc., according to their own level of understanding. According to the signals received by the brain from sensory nerves, it gives order to concerned organ to react to the work, to react to work. For example, a rubric is there: delusion calling for help. So means his nerves are transmitting signal to the brain that body is feeling the strain of present circumstances, and it can no longer sustain itself without any external support. So then if some support is received, the situation can be handled easily. Easily means comfortable. So aid is obligatory, not mandatory. Imagination. There is another kind of delusion. It is a power of brain to create images, figures, incidences, and situation in his own mind with any real basis, without any real basis. For example, delusion floating in air, delusion he is on a distant island, delusion he will be directed, delusion he is flying in air. There are few examples of imaginations. Then another word used in the rubric is wretched. What is wretched? Unless we understand meaning of each and every word used in a particular rubric, we won't be able to understand its subtle meaning, though we can translate it easily and feel that we know it. But when patient comes, we won't be able to apply it or to perceive it that patient is saying about that particular rubric. So To understand it beforehand is very much needed. So wretched means anyone who is in a very miserable or pitiable condition is called wretched. Means just by looking at person or anyone, everyone can feel his miseries and agony. His miseries are reflected by his behavior on his face, by gesture, etc. He cannot hide it. He himself feels it, but he himself does not want to look miserable. So, for example, his face is sunken, oily, and is full of pimples. Hence, he is looking very ugly. The angry, irritable, and anguished expression are appearing on his face. Or he is extremely thin and tall, so looks very ugly. Or his eyes, face, etc. have been disfigured painfully, or due to advanced pregnancy or obesity, his body has become out of shape. Due to these changes, he or she is looking ugly, and the discomfort created by this state is evident in his body language. So these are his own feelings. No one has mentioned anything to him. Or no dress suits his body. There is some grief, or there could be any state of his body or mind due to which he is feeling inferior to others, because he feels that others are feeling that his condition is deplorable, but he does not like to be considered like this. He wants to look superior and dignified. So sense of dignity is very, very high in Natrum Mure patient. So Natrum Mure has great inferiority complex, but he wants to look superior to everyone. So this is his exclusiveness. Wretched, dictionary meaning. Wretched is display afflicted or dejected or distress in the body or mind. Deplorable, bad or distressing. Example, he was in a wretched health. Example, a wretched accident. Third meaning, you describe someone as wretched when you feel sorry for them because they are having unpleasant experiences. Example, that wretched woman, what she went through, God knows. Fourth meaning of word wretched is someone who feels wretched feels very unhappy or ill. For example, she spent most of her day in her room lying down and feeling wretched. Meaning something that is wretched is very bad or of poor quality. Example, the dressing room were wretched. Another example, her own poverty made her child had a wretched diet. Synonyms क्या है? Synonyms are distressed and afflicted, and antonyms are comfortable and enviable. So you can now understand what the wretched means. So all these wretched feelings arise because he himself within has a great sense of self-respect and superiority complex and dignity, hence wants to look good, excellent, beautiful, intelligent, smart, dignified, superior, etc. in front of everyone. So he does not want to look miserable or inferior to anyone. So to hide this miserable condition, he does not come out in the company, or he gradually becomes introvert. So mostly Natrum Mure are introvert because of their weaknesses, their shortcomings. Here is the word she, not he. There is a difference between the word he and she, but in this rubric the word she is used. Why she is used, we will try to understand it. So he is addressing to himself or herself that he is appearing miserable while others are looking good, but nobody points him out or her out that he is looking miserable. But this is her feeling. Looks means it is external impression which one leaves on others' mind. It has an external appearance, means body, facial expression is such that he is looking ugly or miserable to others while everyone else is good looking. While means when the work is being done. So at the time of, but not always. So here Natrum Mure patient is when looking in the mirror, means when he is facing the reality, then only he feels wretched. So this is not a constant feeling in his mind that he is looking wretched. Mirror. What is mirror? Mirror is a looking glass or any shining object or surface which creates images of the surroundings as they are. Hence, a mirror shows one's exact image. Hence, one can see the real picture in the mirror. So, any person, object, or own mind which makes him aware of his own reality acts like a mirror. So, hence, the subtle meaning of the phrase looking in the mirror is becoming aware of his own reality or others making him realize his reality. So, but this awareness lasts till he sees it. Sees it means sees the mirror only. When as soon as he goes away from the mirror, he no longer feels wretched. So, feeling wretched is not a constant phenomena. So, but as soon as his mind is removed or taken away from the mirror, he could no longer feel the reality, means no longer feel the wretchedness. So, because image in the mirror lasts till the object is there in front of the mirror. So, the rubric as a whole, what was the rubric? Delusion, wretched, she looks, looking in a mirror when means literally when natural pure patient looks in the mirror, he appears. Appears means to others very ugly, dirty, and miserable if he does not look beautiful and dignified. Though there is a feeling of dignity in his mind, but reality is that he does not look dignified. So, in a patient's wording, I absolutely look like beggar. Howsoever stylish and costly clothes I may wear, I do not look nice. Nothing suits my personality. Whatever style I may take, nothing makes me look beautiful and dignified. So there is an absolute inferiority complex in me, in my mind. But he himself does not want to appear like this, but he feels like looking or appearing as if he belongs to a very high, respectable, rich, dignified family. So there should be a royal, dignified superiority in his dressing, style, clothing, way of talking, sitting, walking, etc. So this constant desire in him to look dignified means the rubric is elegance, want of. Means he talks of elegance and wants to get it. He should look elegant. So elegant is tastefully fine or luxurious in dressing, style, design, etc. Example is elegant furnishing. Gracefully refined and dignified as in taste, habit, literal style. It is a superior quality. Elegant, to be an elegant is a superior quality. For example, his proposal has an elegant simplicity. So elegance is a royal dignity. Rubric means the Dr. Muir feels himself of very low quality or low standard, but wants to appear like a very superior, dignified royal person. So everyone should be impressed by his personality due to his dignity and superiority over others in all respects. Want, what is want? Want is a need. It is a necessity. For example, to feel a need or desire for wish, for example, to want one's dinner, always wanting something new. So person feels that he lacks this thing, this quality, etc. Either he is absolutely devoid of that thing or short of that thing, or feel if he gets it, he will be complete or will be in a better state. So this is the meaning of want. For example, want of confidence. So it does not mean lack of confidence. Both are different words. So want of confidence meaning he is devoid of self-confidence. He himself is realizing it and always feels the need to have confidence in him. He is in dire need of self-confidence. If he develops self-confidence, he would be in a better position and can work or behave or live comfortably. So want means a feeling of lacking something and an urgent need to have it. Hence the rubric want of elegance as a whole means that the person feels that he lacks royal dignity and refinement of taste in dressing, talking, walking, etc., and in a dire need of it. So wants to develop this elegance in his behavior and looks. People should talk about him and his style and royalty, how dignified he is. No one is like him. He is above all, better than everyone. The kind of grace he has, nobody else has that. Hence, he is too exclusive. So, to appear absolutely different and royal from others, he keeps his every style different of others. So, this is exclusiveness. He wears clothes of different style which he thinks look royal. He has a burning desire in him to look absolutely above than others, but in fact he is not. He looks wretched according to his own thinking, so he avoids meeting or talking to people. So he becomes an introvert, reserved personality, but when he meets people, all his real nature, meaning his weakness and shortcomings, will be exposed. So he is in fact a wretched person. There is another rubric is exclusive too.